Hi, welcome to the metaphysical journey. I'm Michael. You all know who I am. This recording, I want to do something that I've not done before. I just want to talk to you. Tomorrow's Christmas. It's wrapping up Christmas Eve. This is a time of year when, honestly, we just think about a lot of stuff. Now, maybe I'm Aquarius and I think about it differently than some, but I doubt it. And the ones that I'm talking to in this specifically are the ones that are alone. You're by yourself. Now, of course, I have family I could be with. They're at a distance I would have to travel, and this year I just don't have it in me to do it. I'm tired. It's been a long year. It's been a long life, but I'm really feeling it this time. And so I have people I could go with, I could be with, of course, and they love me, and that's beautiful. But I find myself here by myself as I have been for many years, and I ask those questions of why don't I have um, people immediately around me, like family or kids? And I never got married. It wasn't in the cards, of course, and it wasn't legal for many years to do that. But that's not the point. The point is that we find ourselves at these moments when it should be the happiest times, and people are coming together, they're celebrating. We see that, we feel it. But do you feel it inside? And that raises the question of why don't I have what they have? What's different about me versus them? And there's nothing different whatsoever. It's just kind of a choice that I'm making. But there's something inside that drives that choice that I make. And part of that is feeling like maybe I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy or I just have lost interest. And that raises the question of why? Why lose interest? Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever look at yourself and you ask yourself, am I not good enough? Am I not smart enough? Am I not fill in the blank enough? And of course we are. We're all of those things. Other people see it, they tell us that, but do we feel it? What I really want to focus in on this is the question of that you might ask is, am I not attractive enough or just attractive in general? And I was wondering that question today, and it's like my guide stepped in and in their loving way, not even a spiritual 2 before was involved in this one, I'm happy to report, but in their loving way, they really brought that question back to me and kept asking me, what and the question I got was, what do you consider attractive? What is attractive to you? And of course, like so many, I would think it's physical, it's all the different things. And what I got from this long, I'm going to say an inner conversation that I had. I mean, they asked the initial question and that got me going. But what is attraction? And what are we trying to attract? So if you think about the amount of money that you spend for all the things that you buy, for the way that you dress yourself, all the cosmetics that you put on, all the things you do to hide all the blemishes, the things that you see, and most people don't even probably notice it. But the hours and thousands of dollars spent at the dermatologists and the wardrobe, the right house, the right car, all the material trappings that mean something. Those are things that we do, we buy, and we go in debt quite often for that because we're trying to put forward some type of an image because we want to be attractive. We want people to look at us and see success and affluence and intelligence and all the things that we want them to see us for because that helps us feel like we fit in, that we matter, that we're worthy of their attention and their time, and that we are attractive. So, what are we attracting? We're attracting the same people that feel the way that we do. Now, how do we feel? That's an energy that we put out. That's a vibe that we're putting out there. And we know that whatever you put out is what you get back in. You know, you reap what you sow, so to speak. And so if that is the vibe that I'm putting out there, then that is what I am attracting. So am I attractive? Are you attractive? Absolutely. You're drop dead gorgeous attractive. The real question is, are you attracting back what you want to attract? So you can be out anywhere you want to be, and you're going to have people come up and try to talk to you. And if you're in a nightclub type scene, they're going to be hitting on you because they are attracted to you. So are you attractive? Absolutely. But are you attracting what you want out of life? Well, if you have a series of repeated cycles where you just keep getting the same type of people over and over and over, and I used to jokingly say I was flypaper for freaks. Freaks actually can be pretty nice, actually. So I'm not, no disrespect to freaks, but that's was my thought. And I've heard people tell me, for the last 5 people I dated were total losers. And I don't know why I keep attracting these type of people. And it's because that is who you are attracting. So you are attractive, but it's the energy that you're putting out that we're all putting out. So I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me here too. This was my thoughts today that I'm sharing with you. So we attract what we put out. If we're not happy with what we're attracting, that's not on them. That's on us. We're solely responsible for that. So if I am like presently not attracting anyone, that that hurts because it makes a person think I'm not worthy. No one loves me or all of that. And the reality is maybe I don't love myself enough. And if no one is coming forward, it's because I'm putting out this signal of stay back, stay away. And other people's energy, they'll feel that. They'll feel it at a higher level and they will respect that. They're very respectful. But the point on this is that each of us are extremely attractive. And what we're going to attract is the same type of energy that we are putting out. So if we're not getting in our lives the things that we really desire, that I consciously desire, it's because subconsciously I am blocking it. I'm not allowing it to come in. So how do you fix that? Well, put in comments and let me know. Love to hear it because I don't have anything to tell you except to say that once we see the pattern that we're in, the cycle that we're stuck in, that is a huge lesson right there. That if I am attracting a particular type of person that I don't want, then I need to look at the energy I'm putting out. Why am I attracting? So if I'm attracting people, and I'm just going to make this up, if I'm attracting people that are very materialistic, and only interested in money, that's because that's the vibe I'm putting out. By the way I choose to dress myself or act or come across, that's exactly what I'm going to attract. So it's like a catch 22. That's an old book, and sorry, that's kind of a literary reference, but I'll say it this way. It's a trick and a trap that we put ourselves into. Because when we look at society today, we look at all the magazine ads, all the TV things, all these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people that most of them are probably airbrushed, but more power to them. They have the cars, the watches, the colognes, perfumes, everything. They have it all, and we look at that as marketing wants us to, and we see them as successful. They have it all, but do they? What they have are other people just like them, just as and again, I'm saying that these are advertisements coming out, and the people in those commercials, they are paid actors to do that. So probably themselves, they're amazingly wonderful, beautiful people. So I'm not talking about the actors playing that role, but I'm talking about the message behind what's going on. Is marketing is trying to tell us that you have to dress this way and you will have all these beautiful things as a result, or you need these cosmetics, this, the list goes on. You know what it is. We all live in America. We are bombarded 24/7 by stuff. Be this, be that, buy this, get that, etc. But what are they really getting? They're getting more people that feel the same way. So with that being said, if you are attracting a particular type of person, really look at the energy that you're putting out because you're actually coming across that way yourself. So they're automatically going to be attracted to you. Now, think about this. that all this time goes into a certain type of thing that you this facade. It is a facade that we put out there of projecting to people. This is who I am. You can tell by looking at this, and all the stuff that goes with it. But is that who you really are? Most of the time, I would say in my case, no, it's not. I mean, I do dress a certain way automatically, but there are times where people go above and beyond. We all do that. And what message am I putting out? I'm putting out a signal. It's a certain vibe, and that's who I'm going to get back. So it's a facade. Now, how long can you keep that facade up before eventually the other person, that if you're putting out a a message of money and success, you're going to attract people that don't have money or success, but they want it. They see it in what you're putting out, and they're going to be attracted to it. And a lot of times, these are people that, just like everyone else, they're very unhappy and they're looking for someone else to make them happy. Aren't all of us to some degree doing that? So, how long can the facade last? Eventually, the other person's going to see right through that and realize, wow, the way you came across isn't who you are at all. You don't have the money, the cars, and all the different things that you were trying to act like you have by how you were choosing, to dress and portray yourself. It's like you're a fraud. Now, they're right. You are a fraud. A lot of us are. Why do we do that? We do that because we're not comfortable with who we are just on our own. So, going back to the original question, are you attractive? Absolutely. Drop dead gorgeous, and you are attracting exactly what you put out. And I do the same thing. That's really something to think about this time of year. So when you're having all this the solitude moment and you're by yourself and you're wondering, why am I by myself? I think the real answer is because that's the vibe I've been putting out. And why would you put out a vibe of that you want to be alone and in a solitary zone? It could be that because of everything that you've been through, you've been hurt a lot. We a lot of things come our way and people hurt us, and a lot of times it's kind of our fault because that's the vibe we put out. That's exactly what we attracted into our life. Does it mean it was a mistake? Not always. Sometimes it's just a series of lessons that we had to go through in order to see the pattern. And until we see the pattern and learn the lesson will continue to keep resurfacing. It'll just be a different person, a different situation, a different event will keep happening over and over and over until finally we see it and say, wow, it's time to make a change. If you've attracted the wrong things repeatedly, as I said earlier, it's not on the people that you attract or the things that you attract. When that happens, that's on us because we bring into our life exactly what we ask for and what we put out. We have complete control over our lives. We're sovereign beings. We're beautiful sparks of light. We come to Earth to experience the human condition, the human experience. Along the way, we're supposed to be happy and joyful and learn lessons and learn how to get along with other people. Is that how it's played out with you? If so, you're a better person than me. And I salute you for that. It's not always the way it turns out. As we get older, we change, we soften, we mellow, but the feelings from leading up to that, they never go away. And sometimes that, I would say a lot of times that leaves you in a place where you're tired, you're worn out. You don't want to do it anymore. And you might start to think that it's hopeless, you're not worthy, no one loves you, gonna eat a bowl of worms, the way the song goes. But it doesn't have to be that way because that's not reality. The reality is you deserve everything beautiful in life because you're a beautiful person. The only one that maybe doesn't see it is you. And it's time that we really start thinking about that. Watch the energy. It's all about energy. Everything is energy. Our thoughts, people we meet, everything. Start seeing the patterns of the energy. See what keeps coming your way, because if you can identify that, what's coming your way, especially with repeating things, that lets you know that's what you're putting out because that's what you are attracting. So, in order to stop that attraction, to stop that cycle, we have to go inside and ask ourselves and really look deeply at, why am I putting that vibe out there? Where's that coming from? And follow that little energy trail back. It's going to be something that started in early, early childhood, the earliest years. Some say from birth till 7, and some say as early as birth to 3 is where those patterns are formed. And that creates the operating system that runs our subconscious. So basically, we're wounded children in the bodies of adults walking around trying to make decisions, but continually, subconsciously going back to the past and pulling from those patterns and pulling them forward. And we're not even aware that we're doing it. But how we can become aware is by seeing the patterns and the cycles that we're stuck in. The types of people that bring us in, that we bring into us. If you are a person that's constantly feeling abandoned by other people, there's an abandonment thing going on there. Why? What happened in early childhood to make you feel that you were abandoned? Did your parents go through a horrible divorce? There's a variety of things that can happen, but that plays out in your adult life. Because also too, sometimes the people in our earliest years that we wanted the attention and the love and the support from the most, we didn't feel like we got it. And so and in adults, we're still craving that. It shows up in a variety of ways from the people we bring into our lives, because there's something about them that reminds us of something from the past, and we're still seeking that reconciliation, that approval, that love, that support, and that's damaging. You hear people talk a lot about narcissists, and they do exist. I believe that sometimes the term narcissist is applied too freely. Now, again, they do exist, definitely, but I've heard it used for in terms where a person's with someone and they've been with 5 other someone's just like them prior to that, and they blame it on the other person. Oh, they were a narcissist. Perhaps. But the real question is, why are you only attracting narcissists? That's the real question. Don't question the narcissist. They'll do whatever they're going to do. But the question is, why are you attracting narcissists? Why are you attracting abusers? Why are you attracting, and run through the list yourself? There's something in that attraction that you have to dig into to find out, what is it there that I need? What am I attached to? It's an attachment. Why do I need this? It's something to think about. And what a great time to think about it. We're wrapping up the end of the year. It's time to go into the next year with a whole new mindset. 2023 sucked, truly. Energy was all over the place, all the different retrogrades, all the different planetary shit we went through. This year sucked. I'm just going to call it. But in this year, think about how much growth that you've made, how much progress you've made. And maybe the progress was just seeing all the different mistakes that you've been continually tripping over and starting to make corrections. That's a huge success for you. But it's been a hard year. 2024 doesn't have to be that way. 2023 was a year of, in Tarot, it was the death card. Straight down death card with a little bit of tower mixed in, probably a lot of tower mixed in too. So there we are, but we go into 2024 as the full. So new journey, new adventure. Let's just go forward with it. But we're smarter, we're wiser, and this is a year to manifest what you want out of your life. And what you want, perhaps, I'm not going to tell you what you want, but perhaps what you want is, you just want to be loved, and you want to be able to love in return. You don't want to be loved because you feel that you're not worthy of love, but you want that beautiful relationship. And it starts with the relationship you have with yourself. Everything begins in the mind. It's not about what we put on our body, It's not about all the material stuff we do, and if you want all of that, I mean, who doesn't? That's great. Enjoy it, but enjoy it for the right reason. Don't enjoy it because it's a substitute for something else that you're trying to hide behind it and put a facade. Be your authentic self. All the other material things around you that you've worked so hard for, they should beautify your life, not exemplify your life. That's the difference. So I'm not saying go out and get rid of all your stuff and go to Goodwill on the day after Christmas and give it all away. No, you've worked too hard for that. It's yours. You keep it, enjoy it. But as I said just a few seconds ago, allow it to beautify your life, not exemplify your life, because that's not who you are. Who you are is in here and in your heart. Allow the two to come together and create what you want for yourself. Become the most attractive person possible, the person that attracts exactly who you are and who you want to be. So I hope that this hasn't been too bizarre, but I had some little quote block chip thingies that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I threw them all in a big bowl, and I drew a couple of out. I didn't look, but the first one says, I'm using a back thing. It says, "Follow your heart. Follow your heart, not necessarily your brain." Because in the brain, we get into the whole thinking of, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not, on and on and on and on. But it's follow the heart. Do what's right for you, what feels right for you. In order to attract authenticity, you first have to be authentic. And do you really know who you are? It's time to look at that. I've said in readings in the past that when you stand in front of a mirror and you look into it, what do you see? You know, for a long time, I couldn't even look in the mirror. I hated looking into the mirror because I didn't like what I saw. I saw every flaw, every blemish, every extra pound, everything, and I hated it. I stopped taking pictures because I didn't like what I saw. I'm happy to say it's not that way anymore. There's still a lot of things I see that I want to work on, of course. But when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see yourself for who you really are? Or do you see yourself only through the eyes of other people and what they say you are and how they see you? Probably most of the time, people give you amazingly beautiful compliments. They see a totally different person that you can't even relate to. And it's possible they are seeing the real you. Are you seeing the real you? It's time to think about that. Make this Christmas a day that you make the decision to give yourself the best gift you can possibly give. And that's the gift of you. You without all the facade and the insecurities. And just step out there in faith and just be you and see what happens. You might be surprised. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry this was bizarre, but it meant a lot to me to be able to talk to you about this. I appreciate every single one of you that follow me on the metaphysical journey. You mean so much more to me than you can possibly realize. Thank you so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful holiday and that the rest of your year goes well. I truly do love each and every one of you. Have a good night.